Welcome back to State Quarter, the channel where everyday pocket change can turn into jaw-dropping treasure. Today's video isn't about old gold or silver bars locked away in vaults. It's about ordinary-looking commemorative quarters that millions of Americans have held, spent, or tossed into jars without a second thought. And here's the kicker. Some of these quarters are worth more than a luxury home, a retirement fund, or even a small fortune passed down through generations. Just one tiny detail, a rare condition, or an overlooked mint error can turn a simple 25-cent coin into a life-changing discovery. Take a closer look at this 1999 Connecticut State Quarter. With a D mint mark has become one of those coins that keeps people checking their jars, rolls, and old collections because under the right conditions, it can move from ordinary to extraordinary very quickly. This coin was part of the first year of the famous 50 State Quarters program, which means huge numbers were produced, but that also means millions of people saved them, searched them, and compared them, and that strong collector attention is exactly what helps rare examples stand out and gain value. The first thing collectors notice is the design itself. On the reverse side, you see the iconic charter oak tree, a symbol associated with Connecticut, standing bold and detailed in the center. The design has strong lines and fine texture, and on high-grade examples you can clearly see sharp detail in the branches and trunk. The date 1788 marks Connecticut's statehood, while 1999 marks the year of release, and the clean balance of lettering makes this coin instantly recognizable to anyone who follows State Quarters. But the real story starts on the front side, where the small D mint mark tells you this coin was struck at the Denver Mint. That tiny letter is simple, but for collectors, it's a major detail because mint origin can affect rarity when certain errors or high-grade survivors appear. Because this coin came out in the very first year of the State Quarter program, large numbers were handled heavily in circulation. Many pieces quickly picked up scratches, worn edges, and dull surfaces, which means truly clean examples are harder to find than people expect. Collectors look closely at the coin's luster, the shine that comes from an untouched mint surface. A strong cartwheel effect, sharp edges, and minimal contact marks can push a coin into higher grading levels, and that is where serious value begins to build. A coin that looks ordinary to a casual eye might still be worth only face value, but once grading reaches the upper levels, the price difference becomes dramatic. Another reason this coin attracts attention is the possibility of mint errors. Collectors actively search for examples showing double die features, off-center strikes, or unusual die deterioration that creates distinct visual differences. Even minor errors can increase interest, but major visible errors combined with strong condition can take demand to a completely different level. Error collectors and State Quarter collectors often overlap, creating competition whenever a standout coin appears on the market. That competition is one of the strongest drivers of price growth, especially when graded and authenticated by professional grading services. Condition is everything with this coin. In lower circulated grades, the coin is common and widely available, but as you move into mint state territory, the survival rate drops dramatically. High-end collectors chase coins that show nearly perfect surfaces, bold strike quality, and flawless eye appeal. Tiny marks that most people would never notice can separate a coin worth just a few dollars from one worth hundreds or even thousands. This is why experienced collectors inspect these quarters under strong light or magnification, searching for those rare examples that escaped heavy handling. Demand has also remained strong because the 1999 release year carries special importance for modern U.S. coin collectors. Many people started collecting during this series, so nostalgia plays a role alongside investment interest. New collectors often try to complete high-grade sets, and that constant demand helps support strong market activity. Auction houses regularly show how competitive bidding becomes when an exceptional example appears, especially one with top-tier grading or recognized error. The combination of popularity, condition rarity, and a well-known design keeps this coin relevant even decades after its release. Now let's talk about what everyone wants to know, value. Most 1999 Connecticut State Quarters with a D mint mark are still worth face value or small premium if uncirculated, but the story changes completely at the highest levels. Coins graded at the extreme top of the scale, with exceptional strike quality and nearly flawless surfaces, have reached astonishing auction results. In rare cases involving elite grading and extraordinary condition, collectors have seen values climb toward the $170,000 range. This type of value is not for average examples. It represents the very best-known coins, often combined with rarity factors that make them stand out in the entire series. That price level reflects intense competition between serious collectors who want the finest possible piece for their collections. For collectors and viewers watching right now, the real excitement comes from the possibility that a valuable coin could still be sitting unnoticed in old rolls or storage boxes. The difference between an ordinary quarter and a highly valuable one can come down to tiny details, surface preservation, strike sharpness, and rarity within graded populations. That's why people keep searching, keep learning, and keep upgrading their collections. The 1999 Connecticut State Quarter with the D mint mark reminds us that even modern coins can hold huge potential when condition and rarity align perfectly. So the next time you see one, don't rush past it. Take a closer look, because sometimes a coin that looks completely ordinary can quietly carry the kind of value that changes everything for a collector. Next up, you never really know when a simple quarter can surprise you, and that's exactly what makes the 1999 New Jersey State Quarter with a P mint mark so exciting for collectors across the United States. At first glance, it looks like just another piece of everyday change, something millions of Americans have seen countless times. But among the huge number of coins produced, a very small number stand out because of exceptional quality, strong collector demand, and rare high-grade survival. That's where this coin changes from ordinary to extraordinary, and why serious collectors keep a close eye on it even years after its release. The reverse design instantly catches attention with the historic scene showing General Washington crossing the Delaware, a bold and detailed image that gives the coin strong visual character. The design has motion, depth, and detail that really pop when the coin is well struck. On coins that remain in top condition, you can clearly see sharp lines in the figures, the boat, and the surrounding details, while lesser examples appear flat or worn. The words crossroads of the Revolution tie the design together and make it one of the most recognizable coins in the entire State Quarter series. But the real detail collectors focus on first is found on the front side, the small P mint mark, showing the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the most important facilities in U.S. coin production. Because this coin was part of the first year of the State Quarters program, billions of quarters entered circulation quickly. That sounds like it would make the coin extremely common, and in lower grades it absolutely is. However, mass circulation also means heavy wear, scratches, dull surfaces, and loss of mint luster happened fast. Many coins were spent immediately, tossed in jars, or rolled through machines, reducing the number of truly pristine examples. Collectors today are not just searching for the coin itself, they are looking for pieces that survive with sharp detail, clean surfaces, and strong eye appeal. One of the biggest factors behind the coin's collectible value is condition quality. In modern coin collecting, tiny differences in surface quality can create huge jumps in value. A coin that looks bright to the average person might still fall short under professional grading standards. High-grade coins must show very few contact marks, a strong strike, and full luster across both sides. The Philadelphia Mint sometimes produced coins with softer strikes compared to other facilities, so finding an example with excellent detail can be surprisingly difficult. This challenge increases demand among collectors aiming to complete high-grade State Quarter sets. Error coins also add another layer of interest. Collectors carefully inspect these quarters for doubled dies, die cracks, off-center strikes, and other minting abnormalities. While most examples are normal, any visible and well-defined error can push a coin into a higher demand category, especially when combined with excellent condition. Error collectors often compete directly with State Quarter enthusiasts, which increases auction energy whenever an unusual piece appears. The possibility of discovering one keeps collectors actively searching through rolls even today. What makes this coin especially interesting is how market demand evolved over time. The State Quarter program brought a new generation of collectors into the hobby, many of whom began saving coins right from pocket change. As those collectors became more experienced, the focus shifted from simply collecting one coin from each state to finding the best possible examples. This shift created strong competition for coins graded at the top of the scale, where population numbers are far lower than most people expect. When collectors realize only a tiny number exist in elite grades, prices naturally rise. Auction performance shows just how serious collectors can be when a standout example appears. Professional grading plays a huge role because certified coins give buyers confidence about authenticity and condition. A coin that receives an elite grade instantly becomes part of a much smaller pool, and when multiple collectors want that same level of quality, bidding can escalate quickly. This is one reason modern coins like the 1999 New Jersey Quarter can achieve surprising results despite being relatively young compared to older classic coins. Now let's talk about the part everyone waits for, value. The vast majority of 1999 New Jersey state quarters with a P mint mark remain worth face value or only a small premium if uncirculated. However, the market changes completely when you reach the highest known grades or exceptional error examples. Rare, top population pieces with nearly perfect surfaces and excellent eye appeal have achieved impressive auction attention, and in extraordinary cases, values have climbed as high as $80,500. This figure reflects the rarest and finest examples available, not typical circulation coins, and it shows how powerful condition rarity can be in the modern collecting world. For anyone watching, the real lesson from this coin is that modern quarters should never be dismissed too quickly. A coin produced in large numbers can still become highly valuable when only a few survive in no perfect condition. The 1999 New Jersey state quarter with a P mint mark proves that collectors are willing to pay serious money for quality, rarity, and standout eye appeal. So the next time you come across one, slow down and take a closer look at the details, the shine, and the overall condition. What seems like an everyday quarter might just be the hidden gem that turns an ordinary collection into something truly special. Next up, most people would never imagine that a quarter honoring the state of Georgia could reach a value that rivals luxury cars or even a house down payment. Yet that's exactly why the 1999 Georgia state quarter with a P mint mark has become such an exciting topic in the collector world. It looks simple. It feels ordinary. It spends just like any other 25-cent coin. But when condition, rarity, and demand all come together in one exceptional piece, this modern quarter can shock the market in a big way. This coin was released in 1999 as part of the very first year of the 50-state quarters program. Being part of that historic launch instantly gave it strong collector attention. On the reverse, the design proudly features the outline of the state of Georgia, a large peach symbolizing the peach state, sprigs of live oak, and the state motto wisdom, justice, moderation. It's a bold, clean design that stands out even to casual observers. On coins that are sharply struck, you can clearly see the texture of the peach and the crisp lines of the state outline. The details matter, because the stronger the strike, the more attractive the coin becomes to serious buyers. Flip the coin over and you'll see the familiar portrait of George Washington. Just to the right of the portrait is the small but extremely important P mint mark. That single letter tells collectors this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. While millions upon millions were produced there, only a tiny fraction survived in elite, nearly flawless condition. That's where the real story begins. In circulation, these coins were handled heavily from the very beginning. They passed through cash registers, vending machines, coin rolls, and countless hands. Contact marks, bag marks, and surface scratches happened quickly. Even coins saved early were often stored loosely, which caused small imperfections over time. When you start looking at coins under magnification, those tiny marks become very noticeable. For a coin to reach the highest professional grades, it must show minimal surface disturbances, full original mint luster, and strong eye appeal. That is extremely difficult for a coin that was produced in such large numbers and widely distributed. Collectors who specialize in modern quarters understand that top-grade examples are far scarcer than people assume. The grading scale is very strict at the highest levels. The difference between one grade and the next can depend on tiny surface ticks or slightly weaker strike detail. When only a handful of coins achieve the very top population level, demand can skyrocket. Registry set collectors, who compete to build the finest graded collections, are often willing to pay huge premiums for coins that sit at the top of the population charts. That competitive environment is what pushes certain examples far beyond normal expectations. Another factor that adds fuel to the market is the possibility of mint errors. While most 1999 Georgia quarters are standard strikes, collectors constantly search for double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, or other noticeable variations. An already high-grade coin that also features a desirable mint error becomes even more attractive. Error coins bring in a separate group of collectors, which increases competition. Whenever multiple collecting communities want the same piece, prices tend to climb quickly. Luster plays a huge role in value as well. A truly high-end example will show bright, undisturbed cartwheel luster that moves smoothly across the surface when tilted under light. Dull or broken luster can lower a coin's grade significantly. Eye appeal is another key factor. Even if a coin technically qualifies for a high grade, unattractive toning or distracting marks can reduce demand. The strongest auction performers are usually coins that combine technical perfection with visual beauty. Now let's focus on the part that truly captures attention: value. In average circulated condition, the 1999 Georgia State Quarter with a P mint mark is still worth just 25 cents. Even many uncirculated examples trade for only a small premium. However, when you step into the world of elite grading and extremely low population counts, the numbers change dramatically. In rare cases involving top-tier certified examples with nearly flawless surfaces and exceptional eye appeal, auction results have reached as high as $190,000. That level of value represents the absolute finest known examples, coins that stand at the very top of the grading scale and attract intense bidding from serious collectors. That kind of price does not apply to everyday pocket change. It applies to coins that combine rarity and condition, strong demand, and verified professional grading. It reflects how competitive the modern coin market has become, especially for first-year state quarters. Collectors understand that once a coin reaches the highest possible quality tier, replacing it may be nearly impossible. That scarcity creates urgency, and urgency drives record-breaking sales. For collectors watching today, the message is simple but powerful. Never underestimate a modern coin. Just because something was produced in large numbers does not mean top-condition survivors are easy to find. The 1999 Georgia State Quarter with the P mint mark proves that careful inspection, knowledge, and patience can turn an everyday coin into a life-changing discovery. Take the time to check your rolls, examine your stored coins under proper lighting, and pay attention to details most people overlook. Because sometimes the most valuable treasures are hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone who knows exactly what to look for. Next up, you might think a 2001 Vermont State Quarter with a P mint mark is just another ordinary coin, something that's been passing through wallets and vending machines for more than 2 decades. But the reality for collectors is far more exciting. This coin, like a hidden gem, holds the potential to surprise anyone who understands modern quarter collecting. While millions of these coins were minted and circulated, only a very small number survive in the kind of condition that makes serious collectors take notice. And that's exactly why this coin has captured attention, from casual collectors to high-end auction buyers, all focused on quality, rarity, and long-term value. Let's start with the design. The reverse side features the Green Mountain Boys, standing proud with their muskets raised, ready to defend freedom. It's a bold and detailed image that really rewards careful observation. In high-grade examples, you can see crisp edges, clear lines, and intricate details in the figures' uniforms and facial expressions. On the left side of the coin, Vermont is inscribed along the edge, along with the state motto Freedom and Unity. It's clean, sharp, and visually appealing, qualities collectors look for when evaluating condition. The obverse, of course, features the classic George Washington portrait, with the all-important small P mint mark on the right. That single letter tells you the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and it's a critical detail for anyone serious about grading or collecting. What makes the 2001 Vermont Quarter particularly interesting is its survival rate in top condition. Even though billions were produced for circulation, very few escaped the wear and tear of everyday use. Most coins quickly picked up scratches, nicks, and dulling that drastically lowers their value. True high-grade coins are exceptionally rare, and that rarity drives intense collector interest. Experienced numismatists will examine coins under bright light or magnification, inspecting every surface for blemishes, striking clarity, and original mint luster. Only a handful of Vermont quarters reach the level of perfection needed to compete at top-tier auctions. Surface quality is one of the most critical factors for this coin. Coins that retain their original mint luster, sharp strike detail, and flawless surfaces immediately rise above the ordinary. Even tiny imperfections, a faint mark here or a subtle scratch there, can be the difference between a coin worth a few dollars and a coin that sells for tens of thousands. In fact, for the 2001 Vermont State Quarter, collectors who are hunting registry-quality examples focus entirely on these subtle characteristics. The demand for such coins is global, because collectors who want to complete high-grade state quarter sets know that finding these no-perfect pieces is incredibly difficult. Errors and unique features add another layer of excitement. While most Vermont quarters are standard strikes, coins that show die cracks, double die features, or slightly off-center strikes become highly sought after. Error collectors and traditional state quarter collectors often compete for the same coins, which drives prices even higher. Even a minor variety can elevate a coin from common to extremely desirable in the eyes of the collecting community. This is especially true for coins that survive in mint state condition, where the combination of rarity, demand, and visual appeal comes together perfectly. The market for high-grade Vermont quarters has remained strong for years. Auction houses frequently see collectors bidding aggressively on the finest examples, and the competition drives values upward. Coins that look ordinary in circulation may sell for only face value, but once you step into the realm of professionally graded, top-tier examples, the numbers become extraordinary. The 2001 Vermont State Quarter with a P mint mark has demonstrated this repeatedly, with elite coins commanding serious attention from collectors who understand the rarity of these pristine pieces. And now, the part everyone is waiting for, value. While most circulation examples remain worth just 25 cents, coins that achieve the highest grades in professional certification can reach exceptional numbers. For the 2001 Vermont State Quarter with a P mint mark, rare, new perfect specimens have sold at auction for as much as $60,500. That's not a casual sale. That's the result of extreme rarity, outstanding condition, and high collector demand converging on a single coin. It's a number that shows just how much potential even modern quarters can hold when condition and quality align. For collectors, the lesson is clear: never underestimate modern coins. Even quarters from the early 2000s can hide incredible value if they survived untouched. The 2001 Vermont Quarter reminds us that patience, careful inspection, and knowledge of grading standards are key. A coin that seems ordinary in your pocket change could very well be a hidden treasure waiting for the right collector to recognize its true worth. The next time you see a Vermont State Quarter, take a closer look. That small P could be the mark of a coin worth far more than you ever imagined. Next up, at first glance, the 2005 Kansas State Quarter with a D mint mark might look like just another coin rolling around in circulation, something you've seen in your change countless times. But for serious collectors, this coin is anything but ordinary. It's a modern treasure hiding in plain sight, one that demonstrates how even quarters minted in the 2000s can achieve extraordinary values when rarity, condition, and collector demand all come together. What makes this particular Kansas Quarter so remarkable isn't just the design or the year, it's the extremely limited number of examples that survived in pristine, high-grade condition, making it a true prize for collectors at the top of the State Quarter program. The reverse design immediately draws attention with its striking depiction of a buffalo and sunflower, two of Kansas' most iconic symbols. The artist captured a sense of depth and detail that really stands out when the coin is well struck. In exceptional examples, the lines of the buffalo's fur are sharp, the sunflowers show intricate petals, and the state outline is clean and precise. Even the lettering, Kansas and the state motto Ad Astra per Aspera, pops when the coin is in top condition. Collectors know that the combination of a well-preserved design, sharp strike, and smooth, lustrous surfaces is what separates a high-value coin from a standard circulated example. Flip the coin over and you see George Washington's familiar portrait, along with the small D mint mark, indicating it was struck at the Denver Mint. That single letter carries a lot of weight in the collecting world. While millions of Kansas quarters were minted in Denver, only a small fraction survived in the kind of condition that earns top professional grades. That scarcity is exactly what drives demand among collectors, especially those focused on registry quality sets or seeking the rarest modern quarters for investment purposes. Condition is the most critical factor for this coin. Most 2005 Kansas quarters have been handled, spent, and stored in ways that reduce their value. Even minor scratches, bag marks, or dull surfaces can lower the grade significantly. High-grade examples, on the other hand, are nearly flawless, strong luster, crisp details, and a visual appeal that makes them stand out immediately. The highest-graded coins are extremely rare because so few quarters from this era escaped circulation without some form of imperfection. That rarity is what gives these coins the kind of auction potential that modern collectors dream about. Errors and variations can also increase interest, although the most sought-after Kansas quarters are typically the ones that combine perfect surfaces with strong strikes. Some collectors actively hunt for double dies, die cracks, or other subtle minting anomalies, knowing that these can elevate a coin's value even further. When you combine rarity, minting precision, and flawless condition, you get coins that attract serious competition from collectors and investors alike. Auction activity for these top-tier coins can be fierce, as multiple buyers are often vying for the same prize. The market for elite Kansas quarters is driven by more than just scarcity, nostalgia, and the ongoing desire to complete high-grade sets play a huge role. Collectors who began saving coins during the 50 State Quarters program now recognize the importance of condition and population limits. They understand that once a coin achieves near perfect preservation, it becomes a coveted piece for serious collections. Even collectors who focus on modern coins are willing to invest heavily in examples that combine rarity, quality, and eye appeal. And now, let's focus on value. While the average Kansas quarter from 2005 is still worth just 25 cents in circulation, the top-tier examples are in a completely different league. Coins that reach the very highest professional grades, with nearly flawless surfaces and sharp detail, have sold at auction for as much as $120,000. That figure is staggering for a coin barely 2 decades old, but it reflects the reality of extreme scarcity, collector demand, and the power of professional grading to authenticate quality. It's a vivid reminder that condition, more than age, drives value in the modern state quarter series. For collectors today, the lesson is clear: never overlook modern coins. Even quarters that appear ordinary could hold incredible potential if they survived untouched. The 2005 Kansas State Quarter with a D mint mark demonstrates how careful inspection, knowledge of grading, and attention to detail can transform a common coin into a rare collectible. If you come across one, take a close look at the design, the luster, and the small D mint mark, because that ordinary piece of change could very well be a hidden treasure worth far more than you ever imagined.